In this tutorial, I'm going to show you how to assemble all of the pieces to this MDF recipe box that is available for purchase on my website. The pieces will come as a kit, including the pieces for the box lid and the box base, as well as these little wooden pieces that cover up the screws for the hinge. The hinge and the screws will come with the MDF box. However, the Graphic 45 antique pull does not come with the box. That is something that you could add on separately, or you can leave that off. The first part of the tutorial will show you how to construct the different pieces of the box, and then the second part I will show you how I've cut pieces for the side to have them perfectly line up with those angles on the side. To assemble your recipe box, you will need some wood glue. You'll need a small Phillips head screwdriver. I recommend using a hammer to help the pieces go together, or a small rubber mallet, the hinges and screws, and all of your wooden pieces. We're going to build this in two sections. We're going to do the base and then we're going to do the lid. I like to have the pieces with the wood burn on the outside, and the flashback is just a little bit, you'll see the difference. I put that on the inside. If you're painting your box, it really will not matter. I'm taking my base piece first, then I'm taking my large back piece. I'm going to be applying glue to the sections that are going to fit down in here. These do fit pretty tightly, but I am still going to use glue so that it doesn't come apart. Once I have the glue on my piece, I'm just going to press it in those pieces and then set it down. So you're going to see a little bit of glue come out, and I'm going to just wipe that right off. I'm going to take the larger side piece and I'm going to apply adhesive here to this section that's the opposite of that slanted section. I'm also going to apply adhesive to this side here. We're going to attach both of them at once. So once I have my adhesive on, I'm going to flip this piece up like this. And I like to start by pressing mine into the corner and then setting it in place and pressing down. Now you can take your hammer and gently tap just to make sure that it is all the way pressed in to those joints, and then wipe up any excess adhesive. You're going to repeat with the other side. Now I'm going to turn over and I'm going to grab the larger of the pieces that looks like this. This flat edge is going to go on top and it's going to go here. So I'm going to apply my adhesive on all of these sections. Once I have my adhesive on, I'm going to start in a corner and carefully lay this one down. Once I get it started, I like to just go ahead and press into those seams, snapping it into place and then tapping it in with my hammer. And now we have our bottom part of our box assembled, so I will set this aside. I'm going to bring in my second large piece, and I'm going to start with my larger piece with the flat end and apply my adhesive to the long edge. Once I have my adhesive, I'm going to just set this right down onto my piece. I'm going to clear away the adhesive. You can put this up like this and tap it into place if you want to, but the first one usually goes in pretty easily. I'm Going to next take my side pieces and I'm going to put my adhesive here on the long edge with the notches, and we will add these on. I'm going to set mine up on end to make it easier for me to see. Put my corner piece in place and then carefully lock in the other pieces and use my hammer. Now I'm going to flip over and repeat with the other side. Starting with the corner again, I'm going to lock that into place and then use my hammer to make sure it's all the way down. And now that I have both sides on, I'm going to come onto the bottom and use the hammer as well. Now the last piece I need to put on is the lid, or the connecting piece, I should say, for the lid that holds the hinges onto the back. So I'm going to place my adhesive into all these grooves. And with all that adhesive on, I'm going to put one corner in first, and then carefully press the rest of these pieces into the grooves, wipe out my adhesive, and tap with my hammer. And now we have the lid for our box. So these pieces fit together like this, so that these holes will line up on the back for the hinges, and then the front will be straight across like this. Now I recommend, if you are going to be painting your box, that you would go ahead and paint it once you have it assembled before you put any other pieces on. And if you are going to put paper on your box, you would paint it first, and then you're going to put your paper on, and then you're going to apply your hinges, so you don't have to take your hinges off a second time. Once your paper or your paint is done, you're going to place your hinge here, and you're going to start your screws down through the box. When it comes out just a little tiny bit out of the inside, then you're going to take your little wooden pieces. There are two different styles of wooden pieces. One, the holes are closer to the edge. The second one, the holes are in the center. The one with the holes closer to the edge is for the bottom of the box. This piece will fit here, where the edge of the little piece is going to be even with the edge of the box. That lines up those holes. When you put your screws through here, if you're not using any type of paper, the tip is actually going to poke out a little bit slightly. When I covered mine with paper, I had paper here and here. It gave it just a little bit more thickness. There was less of a tip of the screw hanging out, which is good. And then I also put a piece of paper over top. If you're not going to be putting paper over top of this, I would recommend putting glue over top of the tips of the screws just to soften them so that they're not pointy and they're a little bit more rubbery. You could also paint these if you wanted to. Paper seemed to be a good option for me. I liked the look of it, but it also stopped it from being pointy. The wooden piece with the holes in the center, it's for the lid, and it will go like this in the center. It doesn't matter which way you turn it, it is directly in the center. Then you are going to have, again, that piece is going to line up the edge of the lid and fit perfectly onto your screws. When you put this piece on, I recommend adding a little bit of adhesive to the back and then putting it on. Even though you do have your screws holding it on, I just felt like it was easier for me to have it glued in place so that it wasn't turning or moving as I was tightening those screws. So that is the quick way to assemble your recipe box. One other thing that you can do, it is not included in the purchase, is you could add a handle here. So I used a Graphic 45 antique pull on my recipe box, but you could also add something else if you wanted to. like the buckle closures or whatever else you would choose to do. You would have to make your own holes in the front of the recipe box because not everyone is going to do this, so I didn't pre-drill any holes. You could use a very fine point drill bit to do this, or you could use something like a piercing tool like this to very carefully pierce holes down through this. It will take a little bit of work. Just be very careful as you are doing it so that you don't crack the MDF. It is a softer wood, so it's easier to get something through, but it's also a little easier to damage. So I just want you to be careful if you are choosing to add a handle. Now for this part of the video, I'm going to show you how to cut the papers for the sides of your box because those ones are a little trickier with these angles. I've cut my piece down already. The measurement for my piece is 4 inches wide by 5 3/8 of an inch tall. I'm going to set it to the side to make it a little bit easier for both of us for now. So I want to cut this angle here. Now what I'm going to do, my paper when it's on is going to rest right here. So I have 1/8 of an inch border here, and I'll have 1/8 of an inch border here. Right now it's too large because I need to cut this and space these. But to place this properly, I don't want to place the edge where it's supposed to go. I'm going to pull up just a little tiny bit. We're talking maybe a 1/16 of an inch, so we're splitting the difference now between the two. And what you need to do here, you have to be careful when you're doing this. You don't want this to move, but you have to open up your box while you hold this piece in place. You can tape it down with washi if you do not trust yourself. Like, see, it just moved. So I'm going to turn it this direction and redo it. Once I have it set, I need to make sure it's set side to side as well. I'm going to flip it like this. I'm trying to make this so you can see it on camera as well, which can sometimes be tricky. I may end up taping it just because I need to get my hands in here. But if I can get it, then we'll be good. The other side was easier because I'm right-handed. Okay, so I've got this in place, and I'm just going to take my pencil and draw right along the edge of my MDF. And when I take this off, you'll see those lines here. And I actually cut the other side already, so it made it easier. So here is my other side. So what I'm going to do, just to make it easier on myself, because I know it's the right side or the right size, once I have that first one, I'll go ahead in here and do this just to make sure. Like I said, the other side was easier to do when I was holding on to this side because I could put it in place and flip it over and hold it with my left hand and draw with my right hand since I'm right-handed. So this one's just a little bit more awkward. But I do have this now, so I'm just going to go ahead and cut this piece, and then it will be the perfect size for this. Now, one thing to be cautious about, if you cut one side first and you go to use this for the other side, you need to make sure, if you have a directional paper like I do, that you position this in the correct way. So if I had just stuck this on my paper as it is, it would have been incorrect. So I need the opposite way. So I need it to be this direction. That way it'll fit this way, but the checkerboard pattern will be on the outside. And once you have your pieces, you can go ahead and adhere these ones on. Now I'm going to be using the checkerboard side on mine, so I'm going to flip those around. But once this is on where it goes, it'll have that nice border that's uniform around those pieces and between them as well. For the other pieces, we are going to need to remove the hardware from the box, place those pieces on, pierce those holes, and then add the hardware back onto the box. And then the same thing with the inside here. These inside pieces, right now, my hinges, the screws that come with it are a little bit thicker than the two sections of MDF, so they're actually sticking out a little bit and they are sharp. But when I put the paper on, it should take a little bit more room and space, so that'll be less sharp. And then I'm actually going to put a piece of paper over top of these to seal those off so that if you ever hit those, it won't be rough. Now, one other thing to think about before you do put any papers on, if you're going to be putting a handle on the front of your box, like I'm going to put one here, I'm going to be putting holes down through it to put the brads through the MDF, and they're going to open up on the back side. So I'm going to put that on first, and then I will add the paper on the inside after that to cover up those prongs on the brad. So this is what my box does look like when it is completely covered. Again, I did add my paper to these pieces on both sides, but you could also just paint them if you would prefer as well. And I've completely lined my box again so that all the pieces are the exact size that I need. Now, I hope you have found this tutorial helpful, and if you are just watching this but have not purchased the recipe box and you would like to purchase it, I will link that in the description box below. As always, happy crafting!